this weekend in Frankfurt sees the 2025 World Cup of Darts. It will see 40 nations compete for second place against Team England, which of course is Littler and Humphreys. I'm playing. Someone who's involved representing Wales, very strong lineup they've got, is world number 5, Jonny Clayton. He joins us now. Jonny, hello, good afternoon to you.
How are you guys? You okay?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for coming. How are you? You all right? You well?
Yeah, feeling good, thanks. Yeah, excited now, ready for the World Cup to take the English off their perch, yeah?
Well, before we
in the valleys,
before we talk about
Wi-Fi problems at the moment.
Before we talk about how Wales can come second, let's talk about yourself, because you are currently at the social club in Wales. Is it the Aberfan Social Club in Wales? You're launching a new smart energy dart zone as part of the PDC's Darts on Your Doorstep campaign. Just explain exactly what that is, would you?
Yeah, basically we're in Aberfan. You know, years ago it was there was a disaster here with a coal mine that demolished the schools. So you know, we're here with Darts on Your Doorstep and with smart energy to try and give locals and the youngsters an initiative to join the game and play the game of darts. You know, we all know what Luke Littler done at the age of 17, became a runners-up in a world championship, the biggest, you know, tournament of all. So, you know, it's the Luke Littler effect. And I think with the youngsters, it gives them a belief that, you know, that other people can do it, you know, that they can actually do it. So I think to work with these guys is absolutely brilliant to try and put, like I say, an initiative back into the valleys, into the community.
Listen, we'll revisit this before we let you go, so if people want to find out more, they can. So stay with us, gang, if you're listening. But let's move on to talk about you for a moment, because, of course, you won the Darts Championship. That was a few weeks back. How are you feeling ahead of the World Cup? You must feel top of the world at the moment.
Yeah, I do, to be honest. It's nice that my darts are going right again, you know. So, no, all jokes aside, you know, confidence is high. You know, I've had a few wins. You know, the start of the season started well against Luke Humphreys, just missing out on the Masters. So, yeah, all jokes aside, you know, I'm looking forward to it. You know, the World Cup is massive. You know, the Welsh are proud people, you know. So, all this thing about England going to take the trophy, I think we're going to put some doubtful thoughts into that.
John, I'll ask you because, listen, you are world number 5. You've played some great darts. And I've heard one or two players certainly say that you should have been in the Premier League, certainly with that ranking. I'm guessing that was a huge disappointment for yourself that you didn't obviously get selected for the Premier League. Yeah,
100%. But, you know, that would be the same answer from Dave Chisnell and Damon Hetted. You know, I think... Listen, it is. We understand what it's all about. It's, you know, maybe my darts weren't quite as good as what they should be, but, you know, at the end of the day, I've started this off pretty good, and hopefully I'll cross my fingers and get into it next year. So, you know, I'll take it on the chin, and maybe it's given me, like, you know, a bit of a drive to try and get back into it.
Listen, let's talk a bit more about the World Cup. You've won the World Cup twice now alongside Gerwyn Price. Wales, they're the second favourites behind, obviously and understandably, the two Lukes, Humphreys and Littler. Just tell us a bit about how different it is playing in a competition where it's effectively pairs. But my knowledge of this format isn't great. Do you ever do it? Because sometimes it would change with, like, I think it's called Scottish doubles. Do you ever do it where one of you would throw the first three and then the other one would throw the next three, or is it just one of you plays a whole leg?
No, it used to changed. We used to play a singles format in there as well. So you'd have your pairs format and an English format. English format and a singles format. But now it's changed now that it's all pairs. So obviously, we'll just say, Gez, you'll throw first, I'll throw second, and that we'll go in turn until the game is finished. And you know, personally, I really enjoy it because it's different. We don't play pairs in any other tournament of the PDC, so it's really good. And I think it's good for the fans and for the general public because it's different. So
yeah, I like that.
You know, I think that brings a lot into it.
How different is it for you then? Because of course, if you're playing and you're on like a finish of 122 or whatever, you know those three darts, you know what finish you like. You might prefer double 10s over, you know, double 16s or whatever. You might like the right side of the board. Is that difficult to get your head round to understand what your opponent likes being left and your doubles partner likes being left and vice versa?
Yes and no, really, because basically, as a pro, we believe that we can hit anything that we go for. It doesn't always happen, but, you know, if I've got one dart on a 32, you know, I'm going to go for it, where Gezi prefers double top. So, you know, and vice versa, you know, I like the 32. So if he gets a chance to leave me 32, you know, we try and work it out that we give our, you know, our teammate his double rather than play to our game and just be selfish and try and stay on you know, the 16s for in my instance. But yeah, then we do try and, you know, you got your outshots, and you know, like I know if I need to leave Gezi something, it would be like the tops rather than 32s.
Okay, well, listen, thanks so much for coming on. Before I let you go, we talked about what you're launching, the new Smart Energy Dart Zone as part of the PDC's Darts on Your Doorstep campaign. Is there any maybe social media page or a website people can go to get more info on that?
Sorry, mate, I totally lost you. In these valleys, this Wi-Fi is just up and in and out. So, can you repeat that?
Okay.
I missed half that question.
Is there a website people can go to get more information regarding the Smart Energy Dart Zone?
Yeah, it's on the PDC website. So, for all the information for these things, it's all on the PDC website, and feel free to get onto it and look into it.
Jonny, you're a star. Thanks so much for coming on.
Cheers, Jonny.
Enjoy the silver medal. We'll speak to you in a bit.
Cheers, lad. Try the gold.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.